Right, in today's lesson, we're actually going to create character art. So we're actually going to create images, cartoon characters, all sorts of things just using the letter forms that you see in front of you. And we're going to do it only using one tool, the arrow tool. So no pen tools or square tools or circle tools, just the arrow tool. And we're going to do all this by using some modifier keys, which are super helpful in Illustrator and most other programs. And those are going to be Option and Shift. So first we'll just start with Option. So if I drag something around, it's just going to move it from one place to another. But if I hold Option and then I drag, it's actually going to make a copy of it. So the original stays intact. So for this exercise, I want you to keep all of these letters up here. And don't move any of them down so you can have them to use later. Alright, so then the second thing is Shift. So if I select this letter and I want to scale it, right now it's just kind of stretching, and in design it's typically kind of bad to stretch things out. It just looks sort of amateur. There might be some instances where you do want to stretch it, but mostly you don't. And so to keep that from happening, I'm going to hold Shift, and you see now it stays proportional. It scales up normally. Okay? And then the other thing is, if I move my mouse next to one of these white squares, you'll see it turns into a curved bar, and that allows me to rotate the object around like this. However, if I hold the Shift key, it'll allow me to rotate 90 degrees, or 45 degrees rather. So if I want something perfectly upside down, it does it that way. So that's really it. So at this point, I can start creating my character. So I want to start by I'm going to use the P and the Q. I'm going to make some glasses. So I'm going to take this, rotate it, take this one, again holding Option and dragging, holding Shift, dragging around. Alright, so I've got a pair of glasses here, and I'm going to have, a mouth. So I'm actually going to take these, make a mouth. And let's say I want some eyebrows as well, so I'm going to drag these. I'm going to scale this down. Right now it's kind of abstract, but after a while it's going to start looking like something. And I want to create some eyes in there, in the glasses, so I'm going to copy the O, scale it down. And then I'm going to give this character some jagged teeth. So I can either take one of these, or this, or the V. I'm just going to take one of these. Actually, I'll just start with the nose first. And then, actually, I don't want jagged teeth. I just want kind of messy looking teeth. So I'm going to use a U, perhaps. Yeah, we're going to use U. And then Option drag. Alright, and you can start to see it's coming together. Option drag this one. You can see side of the face. Option drag that. I'm going to hold Shift and rotate it that way. And I'm going to see how this looks as a chin. It might work out, might not. Yeah, it definitely doesn't work as a chin. And let's see for the ear. Let's try a U. And then for that kind of curly space in the ear, we're just going to use an @ sign. Maybe smaller. And you'll notice with vectors, I can keep zooming in and we never see any pixelation. And that's one of the advantages of vector, is that you can do that. Alright, so now maybe I want to add like a hat or something. So I'm going to hold Option, drag that over. And then it's going to be kind of a boxy hat. A lot of this is experimentation, so sometimes things don't turn out the way you think it's going to look, so you just have to try something else out. Okay. And then for the body, I'm going to make this one a bit bigger. I'm going to add some arms. And you get the idea. I could just keep doing this for a while. I'm just going to add a hand, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. So he's got really big thumbs. And of course, these are going to look kind of abstract and weird because we're working with letter forms. But this is just a really good way to get practice using the arrow tool and rotating things and using the modifier keys. And just kind of getting used to moving vector shapes around. Alright, and if you want to add some buttons, you could do that. It kind of has like a 1940s cartoon look to it. Alright, so you get the idea. And you can create really anything you want. You can create like animals, robots, aliens, people, and you don't even have to go this same style. You can try other methods, see what works. And these parentheses really come in handy if you want like kind of tie things together like that. And the other cool thing about this option trick is if I select all of these and hold Option, I can just drag that, and I'll show you one other trick. You can actually reflect these, or you can flip them. So just go to right click and then go to Transform, Reflect, and then boom. All right.